The death penalty bill passed by the Israeli Knesset on the 30th of March functions primarily as a media event. This is not new. This bill has been knocking around for 11 years. In 2015, this political party, Yisrael Beitenu, ran on the death penalty platform. They got elected and introduced the bill 3 months later. But it died 94-6 in its first reading. In 2023, Ben Gvir's party, Otzma Yehudit, revived it as a private member's bill. In late 2025, the first reading passed 39-16, but there was over 2,000 written objections submitted. Then last week, the final reading passed 62-48, but that does not mean automatic implementation. The first obstacle is the Supreme Court, who are already reviewing it. Adela is a non-profit, non-sectarian, Palestinian-run legal centre in Israel. They have already filed a petition on behalf of 6 human rights organisations. The Association for Civil Rights in Israel has also filed a separate petition, and the state has been given until the 24th of May to respond. On the 26th of March, 4 days before the vote, the Attorney General's office filed a formal response stating the bill in its current form did not meet constitutional standards. The Attorney General could not block the private members' bill, but to actually implement this would require that same office to instruct military prosecutors to apply it, which is the third obstacle: military court prosecutors. The law mandates military tribunals apply the sentence even when the prosecution didn't seek it. It also removes the military commander's authority to commute it, forecloses clemency, and sets a 90-day execution timetable. So, military legal officers would face conflicting obligations under the Israeli constitutional law and international humanitarian law simultaneously. And even the Israeli military has historically resisted any kind of legislation like this that creates that conflict. Then why did it pass? Ben Gvir's coalition deal with Netanyahu specified the death penalty bill as a deliverable. Voting for it costs them nothing, but it generates an international news cycle that his American donors and defense industries benefit from. The vote in 2015 failed 94-6. The vote in 2026 passed 62-48. That shift does not reflect a change in Israeli public opinion about executions. It reflects a change in who is in control of the Knesset majority. This is not to say that that bill is harmless or that it definitely won't survive the Supreme Court review. It's flagging to you that there is a Supreme Court review and we'll find out in May. What I'm saying is the media event and the weird lapel pins are not the end of this story. And there is a massive structural gap between that event, that vote, and what their own Supreme Court would need to actually hire the executioner. Ethical reporting here would have been to not have the broad scale media event that we've just witnessed until you had that decision in May. The media reaction of this week is disproportionate to the legal reality in Israel. The passing of this bill is pure political theatre. Their goal is to outrage you. The point of this media campaign is to have people in Western countries think, what the fuck is wrong with Israel? You're supposed to be horrified by the ethno-state hanging people in 2026. How evil. What is to be done with such an insidious kind of evil? The bill generates outrage, and that outrage dominates the coverage of Israel. And that coverage, that shock and awe coverage, distracts you from the important structural question: who funded this? As usual, the donors stay invisible. So I have created an in-depth follow the money. If you go to my website, alimacforever.com/Israel, I have taken the names of all 62 Knesset members who voted yes, and then mapped the money behind their party. Hating Palestinians as political theatre generates huge return for American investors. And these returns are documented on my website for free. This death penalty bill is just one performance in a settler colonial system whose financials are publicly available for those not distracted by the horror and willing to do the boring and read the tax filings. Ta-da! This is Miriam Adelson. She lives in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. She was born in Tel Aviv while it was British-mandated Palestine. Her husband was Sheldon Adelson, the Las Vegas casino billionaire who died in 2021. He funded this free, daily, far-right newspaper that gets distributed across Israel, whether they want it or not. This paper is so forcefully in favour of Netanyahu that Israelis have nicknamed it Bibiton. This family pours money into AIPAC like it's raining. They also fund the Foundation for Defence of Democracy, the Israeli American Council, and the United Against a Nuclear Iran bipartisan. Chairman is Jeb Bush. What the fuck? In 2018, Sheldon Adelson gave $30 million to the Congressional Leadership Fund Super PAC, directly underwriting the Republican House majority. After he died, Miriam took over his estimated $60 billion fortune, all derived from gambling, Las Vegas casinos. During the 2024 US presidential cycle, she established the Preserve America Super PAC and committed $106 million to Donald Trump's re-election campaign. $106 million, that's how much it costs to get Donald Trump to say what you want him to, basically. Because straight after he gets elected, he goes to Israel, he acknowledges her personally, recognises Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights, and cancels the Iran nuclear deal. These are all her priorities. This woman does not live in Israel. She makes money from it. When Jacob Rothschild funded the Knesset building, that was Israeli patriotism. When a Nevada-based, Trump-supporting, casino-owning oligarch funds a let's hang the Palestinians bill or another settlement in the West Bank for agriculture that gets exported, what do you call that? Because to me, it screams Latin Kingdom of Jerusalem. This image does a lot of the work in explaining what Israel is doing in Lebanon right now. There is approximately 32 billion cubic meters of natural gas in the Gaza Marine. If you develop this marine, it will generate an estimated $3 billion a year for 25 years for whoever controls it. Lord Sidham said it explicitly in the House of Lords in 1922. What we have done, by concessions not to the Jewish people, but to a Zionist extreme section, is to start a running sore in the East, and no one can tell how far that sore will extend.